Hey guys, it's Eric with Grillslingers again, but I've been sent to the kitchen today to show you my go-to favorite side dishes for date night. Today I'm going to bring out one of the easy ways to show your boo that you know what's up. It's okay, you won't tell her that it was easy, that's our little secret. 2 for time, confit potatoes and cream spinach. Let's get it. Roasted potatoes are an easy side dish, but let's amp it up a bit. Confit is a great way to add some variety. Confit means cooked in fat. With meat, that means its own, but we can still do that with vegetables. Vegetables don't have fat, right? If you want to follow along, click the link in the description below for the recipe, and let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get our fingerling potatoes out. You can do this with new or baby potatoes, but fingerlings tend to do best. We got 2 pounds washed, prepped, and are gonna go in a disposable aluminum pan. In a separate bowl, we're taking 1 cup of duck fat, and in that we will mix 2 teaspoons of fine sea salt. Look at that drip. Okay, that was gratuitous, but I like it anyways. Here's your sea salt. We're gonna get that in there. Go ahead and whisk that to combine, because I didn't have a whisk. There we go. Good job, Jeff. Once that's mixed, we're gonna pour it over the potatoes and add 2 more cups of that duck fat. Ting, ting, there we go. Okay. And pour. You don't have to pour in any specific measurements or anything like that. Just get them covered. There we go. And let's go ahead and just make sure everything's covered and everything's sitting in duck fat. Okay, now we're doing the smash, 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 smash on our garlic. Karate chop. Don't do that one. So, we're going to smash out some garlic cloves to release the oil. We're going to add that into the pan along with this rosemary. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 225. And we're going to throw those in there for about 90 minutes. Here's your little peep before they go in. We're going to check for temp every so often. So next, we're going to start chopping up an onion for our green spinach. You can see my superior onion chopping skills compared to my lovely wife, Natalie. This is how I like to do it. Sometimes it's a little bit more frustrating, but I like it that way. More garlic smashing. More garlic smashing. No elbow drops this time, but we are going for a garlic mince. It's going to be 1 clove of garlic. All right, so we got some butter. We're going to go ahead and throw that in the pan. Drop. And we got our onions and garlic, and we're going to go ahead and slide that in there. And this is the crucial moment where we realize that stoneware does not work on an induction cooktop, believe it or not. So we're going to go ahead and switch pans. We made a boo-boo. It's okay. Boo-boos are okay. Go ahead and just get it going in a pan that actually works this time. And we're going to saute those down so we get them nice and soft. Unlike my really cheesy dance moves. Thanks, Jeff. Still waiting. Okay, so we got those cooked down. We're going to move it into an even larger pan now, because now I actually have the right one. Sink. Okay. So let that keep going. The next thing we're going to be doing here is grabbing spinach pretty quick. Okay, so next we're adding our salt, pepper, and our nutmeg. If you have fresh nutmeg, I would highly suggest it here because the flavor is going to be a lot stronger. Next, we're going to be stirring that in to make sure it incorporates. Our flour is on deck. We're going to be adding that in. We want to mix it to make sure that the raw flour smell goes away and get that slightly nutty smell. Usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes. We want to stir that constantly. Little by little. You do it all at one time, it ends up being a big nasty mess. Okay, so now we're going to be adding milk. Heavy cream works right here too. We're going to stir this every couple seconds until it's thoroughly combined and our mixture begins to bubble. I'm going to bring that to a simmer. Next, we're going to start adding some cheese. This is Oaxaca cheese, which is very similar to mozzarella. We're gonna let it cook for about 7 to 9 minutes once it's in here, so that way we can get it thickened up. Using fresh, we don't want pre-shredded because the potato starches will cause it to clump a little too much. And now we've got our cooked spinach. This is pre-cooked. If you buy frozen spinach, just follow directions on the bag. If you're using fresh, just make sure it's chopped up and ready to go. We're gonna add that in. We're gonna stir in that spinach, and we're also gonna stir in some Parmesan. You can see I've got right here. And we're gonna stir that to combine, and we're going to remove it from heat once it's all combined. That's a cheese pull. That's a cheese pull if I've ever seen one. There we go. And we're gonna go ahead and get rid of this, and we're gonna get back to our potatoes once I'm done getting all the extra cheese pulls that I can. Okay, so now we got our potatoes out of the oven. We are going to transfer these into a bowl. You're going to want to use some tongs here because this pan's going to be ripping hot. Plus, it's got a bunch of hot fat in it, and the last thing you want to do is get that on yourself. We are going to add some maple sugar, some dried red pepper flakes, smoked black pepper, of course, black sea salt, and dried parsley. You're going to want to toss the dress, let it cool for about 5 minutes, and you can ultimately serve this beside whatever you want. It's your life. You can also use whatever seasonings you want. I just happen to like using some stuff that's a little different. But feel free to watch me drizzle some stuff into a bowl. And now for presentation. Sprinkle a little bit extra seasoning if you got any on hand. Otherwise, it is done.
Got greens, and we got potatoes. Let me jump in on these first. Oh. I like making this because it finds this balance between like a really rich like spinach dip that like you wouldn't tell anybody that you eat the whole thing by yourself, but you probably would, and like that really nice steakhouse like cream spinach that is just ubiquitous for like a fancy dinner. The cheese is nice. The onions really kind of add to it, but my favorite thing is the nutmeg. It really just adds this nice warming flavor that just kind of amps everything up. That's a classic. But I'm gonna jump into one of these potatoes right now. Wow. Woo. Take a look at that. Oh, it's good. There we go. All right, bite time. That's so tender. Cooking them in the duck fat just adds this like really deep, like just, I hate being bougie and saying umami, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It just has this like really rich depth of flavor. And then all the spices and seasonings, you can really just toss this in whatever you want. But I was trying to pick things that kind of tie in together. So you get like the maple, you get the sweetness. The crushed Aleppo gives a little bit of heat. You got smoked peppercorn. Like, basically just throwing the kitchen sink at it, but it's just so good. Both of these are perfect to saddle up next to a perfectly seared steak or whatever you're gonna cook up for your food. These two sides are easy, they're flavorful, and they can easily prep before a main dish. Links to each recipe are in the description below. And for more recipes like this and a whole bunch of other goodness, feel free to like, subscribe, smash the notification bell, and comment below if you want to see more. Until next time, y'all take care.